Long time no see, welcome back to the channel. They let me start making longer videos on TikTok and I was thinking, why aren't I putting these on YouTube as well? Give you all something. So here you go.
You said that you oppose scrapping the filibuster. The question I have is whether or not, and you say you hope that that'll bring the parties together. The question I have is whether or not you're doing it exactly the wrong way. And hear me out on this. If you were to keep the idea that maybe you would vote to kill the filibuster, wouldn't that give Republicans an incentive to actually negotiate? Because old Joe Manchin's out there and who knows what he's going to do. By taking it off the table, haven't you empowered Republicans to be obstructionists?
I don't think so, because we have 7 brave Republicans that continue to vote for what they know is right and the facts as they see them, not worrying about the political consequences. I believe there's a lot more of my Republican colleagues and friends that feel the same way. I'm just hoping they are able to rise to the occasion to defend our country and support our country and make sure that we have a democracy for this republic of all the people.
If he's acting in good faith, he's being honest, and he's thought about this, then I'm sorry to say that he's not very smart. We'll get back to the interview in a second, so stick around. We have no way of truly knowing how most Republicans would vote because it doesn't make much sense for them to vote on anything that they don't know has a supermajority, aside from the few whose election chances rely on appearing bipartisan, which also happens to be Manchin's concern. Wallace is right. If Manchin thought that bipartisanship and the filibuster were important on their own merits, he wouldn't show his hand like this. It's not difficult to see that the filibuster prevents bipartisanship. What's the good in crossing the aisle if an entire quarter of your obstructionist caucus has to join you in order for that to matter? Want to get Republicans involved? Show them that bills will get passed whether or not they do. Give them something to lose.
But let me ask you the final question, sir. I mean, let's just take the idea of creating a 9/11 commission to investigate the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. Republicans blocked that. Senator McConnell, the head of the Republicans in the Senate, says that he's 100% focused on blocking the Biden agenda. Question, aren't you being naive about this continuing talk about bipartisan cooperation?
I'm not being naive. I think he's 100% wrong in trying to block all the good things that we're trying to do for America.
And that's where Manchin's rationale becomes completely incoherent. In search of bipartisan legislation, he lets Republicans block legislation in a partisan manner. Likewise, on voting rights, in search of bipartisan legislation, he lets Republicans pass partisan laws all over the country almost completely unopposed. He's ensuring the continuation of partisan government, and the most plausible and charitable reason I can think of is that he's more committed to the idea of being the guy who fights for bipartisanship than taking the action needed to make it a reality. Arsonists are setting fire to our election systems, and the firefighter won't extinguish the fire without the arsonist's permission. He can't blame anyone but himself if the public finds it progressively harder to tell who's who. Thanks for watching, and thanks for staying subscribed. There will be more content popping up here soon, I promise. I haven't forgotten about you. See you soon.